Can India European Union free trade agreement become biggest export opportunities for Indian exporters? FIEO has called it mother of all deals because of its potential impact on India's export. But what makes this agreement so significant and which industries could benefit the most? Let's explore the data and find out. Before looking at the opportunities created by this agreement, let's understand why the European Union or EU matters so much to India. The EU is one of India's largest trading partners. In financial year 24 to 25, goods trade between India and EU crossed 136 billion US dollars, while services trade reached more than 83 billion US dollars. Together, India and EU accounted for nearly 25% of global GDP and one third of global trade. These numbers explain why the India EU Free Trade Agreement could become a game changer for Indian businesses and exporters. Now that we have seen why European Union is such an important market, let's understand how this free trade agreement could benefit Indian exporters. The agreement aims to reduce tariffs, making many Indian products more competitive in the European market. It could also improve market access, helping Indian businesses reach more customers across Europe. As trade barriers come down, new export opportunities could emerge, while stronger supply chain may help Indian companies expand their long-term presence in Europe. But which sectors are likely to benefit the most? Let's look at the data. Now, let's look at which sectors are expected to be the most impacted by the proposed India EU Free Trade Agreement. According to the FIEO fact sheet, several labor intensive and export oriented industries are expected to gain from improved market access and lower tariffs. These includes textiles and apparels, gems and jewelries, tea, coffee, spices, agriculture and processed foods, chemicals, and marine products. The report also highlights leather and footwear, sport goods, toys, engineering goods, handicrafts, along with services such as IT and professional services. But how do these sectors compare with India's actual exports to Europe? Let's find out the latest DGFT trade data. Now, let's move beyond the FIEO report and look at the actual trade data. These are the India's top 10 export categories to Europe based on the latest DGFT data for financial year 25 to 26. Mineral fuels remain India's largest export category, followed by electrical machinery and industrial machinery. Organic chemicals, pharmaceuticals, vehicles, gems and jewelries, and apparels are also among the top exports to European market. Together, these 10 categories account for nearly two-thirds of India's total exports to Europe, highlighting the breadth and diversity of India's export basket. But how well do these exports align with sector highlighted in the FIEO report? FIEO reports identify six key sectors that are expected to benefit from the proposed India EU Free Trade Agreement. To verify this, I compared these sectors with the latest official DGFT export data to Europe. The results are quite encouraging. Chemicals are already among India's top 5 export categories to Europe, while textiles and apparel, along with gems and jewelry, are firmly positioned among top 10. Marine products stand out as the strongest performer, recording an impressive growth of over 40%. Tea, coffee, spices, and leather products are also maintaining steady growth in European market. This suggests that the FIEO report is well supported by the trade data. The sectors expected to benefit from agreement are not emerging industries. They are sectors where India already have meaningful presence and potential to grow even further. Looking at the data, the two distinct patterns stand out. Some sectors already have strong export base in Europe, while others are growing rapidly year after year. This combination of established strength and strong growth suggests that the proposed India EU FTA could support both existing export leaders and sectors that are building momentum. That's what makes this opportunity interesting from trade perspective. To conclude, the proposed India EU free trade agreement has the potential to create new opportunities for Indian exporters. The FIEO report helps us understand which sectors are expected to benefit. But when we combine it with official DGFT trade data, we get much clearer picture of where India is already strong and where new opportunities emerges. My hope is that this analysis encourages more exporters to explore the data before making important export decisions. If it helps even a businesses make better informed decision, I will consider this effort worthwhile. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next analysis.